Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's video. I am home right now visiting family and it's great. It's been a good weekend, being good seeing my family. And so just you can tell the filming location's a little bit different, so I wanted to explain what was going on there. So today's topic is again it is very timely in my life right now. And so that's what inspired the topic this week, which is why we must learn how to let go. So the first point to this video is learning to let go saves us from going crazy. Think about all the external stressors in your life that you have no control over. An example, earlier this week, I got my brake calipers. I got some new brake calipers on 3 of 4 of my wheels, as well as new brake pads on my car. And net, it was over a $2,000 investment. And I was expecting it to be a few $100s to get the new brake pads, maybe up to $500, $700. Turned up being over 3 times that amount. That definitely stressed me out at first. And I went through a few different companies to get quotes on. One being, well, I won't list those companies, but I went through a couple until I eventually came to the conclusion that going to the dealership was, in this instance, the best investment, surprisingly. So I was able to let go pretty quick of the fact that I was going to have to be making a pretty hefty investment. It was stressful at first, but luckily I was able to make it happen. My car brakes a lot better, and ultimately I'm happy about it. But I could have gotten all frustrated and stressed out. By the way, there's a golf tournament going on right now, so if you hear noise, that's what my family's doing. I could have gotten really frustrated and stressed out about the whole incident, but I chose not to. I chose to just realize it was outside of my control. There wasn't a whole lot I could do, and I just adapted. I forked over the cash, and again, as I said, it is a more drivable, more functional vehicle now, which is good. So just being able to take those things that would normally frustrate us, not necessarily eliminate that frustration, but be able to realize that so much of what is going on, we don't have a lot of influence over. So we have to roll with it. We have to go with the flow. It's hard to develop, but again, the more that we start recognizing, just like the first thing to any habit development or elimination of any habit is to recognize when you're doing it. The first step is just recognition, and then working from there to get better at not letting it affect us as much. So, next thing I want to move on to is, well, I really tackled the first couple things I wanted to address here, which is going crazy and also saving ourselves a lot of stress from not allowing ourselves to get emotionally overwhelmed from the things that do frustrate us. The next part has to do with the law of attraction, which is getting a little bit more into spirituality. Something I've noticed in my own life is the more that I try to get something, the less willing it is to manifest in my life. Super, if I'm just being honest with you guys, something I'm trying to manifest right now is a partner into my life right now. I haven't had a partner in a little bit. I'm eager to have a partner, and some of that eagerness has led to me feeling desperate to go out on dates with people I wouldn't normally go out on. Really, that means just in terms of compatibility, overall compatibility. But the more I've surrendered and let go and just realize that that partner is going to come along, and that partner will actually come along sooner if I don't try to force that partner coming along, and it'll also be a better partner that comes along, the better the circumstance is going to be, right? So something I've done last week, it was on Wednesday, is I actually spoke to the universe. As weird as it sounds, I was laying in my bed, drifting off to sleep. I essentially said, "Universe, I want you to manifest just an awesome, amazing person into my life that I'm going to get along with. That's going to be X, Y, and Z." And so I actually said out loud. Hopefully, my neighbor downstairs didn't hear me. I don't think he did. I said out loud, what I wanted. I wasn't speaking to any person in particular, although you can do your own iteration of this if you're religious. I just set it out to the universe. This is what I want. You can be very specific. You can say, this is what I want it by. I didn't do that. I didn't say this is what I want it by. I just spoke, this is what I wanted. Some people will tell you the more specific you are, the more specificity you have with the law of attraction, the better. And I do agree up to a point. But just letting the world, the universe know what you want is going to be very helpful in terms of having that attracted into your life. Without getting into too much, that person hasn't already, it's Sunday as I'm filming this video. Within 4 or 5 days, that partner's not already here. It's not that, it's not that quick necessarily, but I do notice that my vibe that I'm giving off is it's more well received by people who I'm wanting to attract. So it's pretty exciting. And the premise here is essentially the less you try, the less you force, the more willing that things are going to be coming into your life, that you want to come into your life. So, next is really when we're trying to force things, when we're not able to let go, people are not going to want to be in our lives as much. Think about it. If you have that super needy friend, which we probably have all had at some point in our lives, that super needy friend who's always like, oh, you need to be hanging out with me. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. It can be partners as well. It can be just whatever relationship you have. It can be parents. It can be children. People don't like being around other people who are super needy and want everything on their schedule. Um, and essentially, if you're not able to let go and just vibe with people, in other words, vibe meaning relax, have a good time, don't take yourself too seriously, the more resistance we have, again, this goes back to the law of attraction point I brought up just a few minutes ago. You know, when you're not able to not be so uptight around other people are going to notice. It's going to frustrate them. It's going to make them not want to be around you as much. It's going to make you less magnetic, just with the law of attraction. Again, the less resistance you have to things in life, the more willing they're going to be to come to you. Could be the same with electricity, right? The best conductors don't have a lot of resistance. Electricity and energy flows very easily through them because there's less resistance. Same thing applies with the vibe that we give off in life, with the energy we give off in life, with the things that we want in life. Okay. So, another thing, and I don't think that happiness in and of itself should be the ultimate goal. I know that's a little bit, that might come off as surprising that I have that view. I think that progress and enjoyment of making that progress, which some define as happiness, and I think that's pretty accurate. I think that's the closest definition of happiness because it's such a vague. People are like be happy. It's like what does that mean? But you're able to be happier when you and also live in the moment when you don't have as much resistance. You don't put up as many walls. You don't force things as much in life. Notice here with this video too, I'm pausing longer. I might be slipping up my words a little bit, but I'm not going to be cutting this out of the video because it's not as like genuine. You know what I mean? You're not getting, of course, I've got like a note card where I jotted down notes of things I want to say to keep the video on topic, but it feels less genuine. There's just a bunch of cutting, stopping, and starting. And that's, again, video editing is something I want to get better at, but I don't want to make anything too forced, again, or artificial because it doesn't come across as genuine. The same thing with us in life, right? If we're willing to make mistakes, if we're willing to have little slip ups and not crush ourselves for them or not forgive ourselves for them, if we're able to forgive ourselves and we're able to be imperfect, it's going to be more positively received by other people. Just like I was talking about, it's going to make us happier and it's going to make us more able to live in the moment. It's going to make other people like us more too. Because no one likes Mr. or Miss or Mrs. Perfect, right? Because it's not realistically attainable and it causes feelings of envy, jealousy, other things, right? So these are multiple reasons why we should just be genuine and not try to force so many things. Something I'm doing with these videos, that I'm going to continue to do with these videos. If I mess up, if I monumentally mess up, yes, I will probably honestly restart the film, the recording, the video, but these little slip ups I'm having, we're going to keep them. We're going to keep them. So, examples of things that I'm trying to let go of currently. I have a person who I'm attracted to, a lady specifically who I've been really into for these last couple months, and there was a point where I thought that I don't want to say had her because it makes it sound possessive, but what I'm trying to say is there's a point where I thought that we were going to start a relationship, and she was kind of hinting at that too. I think I got too excited, honestly, got too eager. I was smothering her basically, and that caused her to be like, "Whoa, like what's going on here? Like, we're not actually committed yet." And it scared her away. And that disappointment that I felt with myself, with holding on too tightly and trying to make it happen too much, was real. The disappointment I felt was real. I'm trying to let go of that disappointment, and not for the hopes of trying to get this person back, but more so for my own sanity and for forgiving myself and allowing myself to be more magnetic in the future and learning from my mistakes. And I'm doing good at it. I'm doing, well, I'm starting to do good at being able to let this woman in particular go from me trying to force things to happen. And it's getting better. It feels like it's well received. And ultimately, it's making me happier. A ton of reasons to keep it going. Another thing is what people think of me is something that I'm trying to let go of. Of my personality, of people wondering, man, this guy's really flamboyant. This guy's really animated. This guy is weird. All things that are true about me that I'm starting to love more about myself. But things that I'm also trying to realize might not be taken the best by other people, but that's okay because I am, and this is another video that I already filmed, being yourself, but in an acceptable way, not being too gung ho or crazy on being 100%, myself, regardless of what other people think, but also allowing and accepting myself while presenting it in a presentable package. I know I just said presentable like a bajillion times this last sentence, but being more of my character and being okay with being more of my character without going over the top is something I'm trying to let go of. Um, Attachment to career growth. I'm pretty with my current career. I'm pretty obsessed with wanting to climb and be better and get all these promotions, which I'm doing well for myself. But again, the more I try to cling on to getting those promotions, getting to where I want to be as fast as I can, that might hinder my growth overall, right? So letting it happen, showing and telling and proving to other people that I'm eventually worthy of that promotion, but allowing it to happen and not getting too obsessed with it is something I'm trying to let go of. So let's see if I've got anything else. Yeah, my desire to be the center of the universe. I'd like to think I'm a relatively selfless person and not super selfish. Something I realize with a lot of us is we like to be at the center of the universe, right? We are the main characters in this game of life because we're the ones in which we see life through. So we're going to want the best for us, right? So it's realizing that that is the case, but and that's important, right? Because we want to get to where we want to be. Because ultimately we are the most important people in our lives. But being okay with sometimes putting that on the back burner and trying to help other people. Again, I think I've said this in previous videos, but there's a Zig Ziglar quote that goes something along the lines of if you help enough other people get to where they want to be in life, you will get to where you want to be in life. Letting go of my attachment to wanting to be number one at everything first. That's about all I have for you guys today for the video. Hope it was enjoyable. Hope it made sense. We'll see you in the next one.